you guys give us so many legal questions, and as much as we'd love to answer them, Cilla and I, unfortunately, are not experts. So that is why we've got Nick here today.
You, as the stepmother, can make an application.
If you are rolling around, giving it the big un, watches on, all jewellery, all new outfits, and you can't give a bit of money to look after your kids.
And they're like, sorry, I must die before I agree to let you have parental responsibility.
In this court application, that's just going to cause even more drama.
Yeah.
If parents, you, me, we don't have rights over our children.
Are mums favoured? Do they have more power in the UK than dads?
Honestly, I'd be devastated. The thought of it now makes me sad.
Yeah, and I think it would...
It's not really a me problem. It's a them problem. They shouldn't have gone and done that.
No.
She called the police.
Call the police?
She said,
For what?
Like,
what's the crime? That's not right. That's not a proportionate reason to stop contact. That is weaponizing your children in order to cause the other parent pain.
If the Instagram is open and it's not private, is there something legal around that?
How am I even seeing it? And however I'm seeing it, block it. Like,
I'm obviously looking for it.
Hey guys, I'm Kate Ferdinand and this is Blended, the podcast where we talk all about blended families, from introducing your children to a new partner to throwing away baby photos. Yes, we really do talk about it all here. Now, you know I've got two amazing co-hosts. Today we're switching it up. I've got the amazing Nieki from Legally Nik. Now you guys give us so many legal questions, and as much as we'd love to answer them, Cilla and I, unfortunately, are not experts. So that is why we've got Nick here today. Hopefully she's going to help answer all your questions.
I'm going to do my best.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
How are you, Cilla?
I'm fine. I'm a bit gassy.
Bit gassy?
And I'm sitting next to you. That's
lovely.
I know, but it's not my fault, really, is it?
I actually don't know how. It's not your fault, but I could never say that out loud to anyone.
I mean, it's just...
apart from my midwife, and I respect you for that. I could not say that out loud.
Oh, exactly. Come on.
Let's be real.
Let's be real.
Really?
Yeah, but like if I'll leave, don't worry.
Oh, no.
I have manners.
That's kind.
It's all right.
No, but sorry. Nick's thinking, this is not the podcast I signed up for. I thought I was talking about legal stuff.
I just wanted to be honest because it's a safe space, right?
Yeah,
always.
Okay, just one question. I know this is really diverting. Would you then be gassy in front of your husband?
Do you know what? Like last week, I was, but I thought I was being stealth. I thought I was being discreet. And my husband was like, what's that smell? I was just like, I don't know, maybe we need to close the window. I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm not going to be like out here. It's been a decade, it's me. I'm letting some gas out. But also, like, if he gave me the look of like, you dirty little liar, I'll be like, well, you did this to me. So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't willingly put myself in that predicament, but I can walk out, so it's fine.
We know a little bit more about Cilla today.
Yeah, a lot
Thank you so much for sharing with us.
I just wanted to say I'm so excited to sit next to Nick because we've been following each other for, I think, maybe like 2 years or something.
Yeah, like you were one of the first people that reached out to me, so I was really grateful.
And it's like the first time we've physically met, so...
It's exciting times.
Isn't it funny when you see people on social media so much and you feel like you know them and you meet them in real life for the first time? You're like, oh, it's like nice to meet you, but we already know each other.
Yeah, wild.
It's so weird.
Wild.
So can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Okay, so I was a child protection solicitor for 13 years and I've recently left my child protection job in order to set up Legally Nik. So I have a Instagram page, a TikTok page where I basically provide legal support to parents, mums, dads, step-parents, and just giving them legal context in the most complex of co-parenting dynamics.
Okay, and what made you've gone from a child protection officer, get into the blended family side of things?
I am a mum of two and a stepmum to one bonus boy. I stepped into the blended world in complex circumstances. I felt like there was this big pool of advice that I could provide, help, support people with online. I felt like there was this big gap. There's a big space of people giving advice, opinions, support, but I just felt like little dots of legal context could really help and benefit people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that is why you're here today. I
Yeah.
feel like our listeners and people that watch, we need all the help we can get.
For sure.
Everyone's just winging it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Should I get into our dilemma then,
Let's go.
ladies?
Go on then.
Hi, I've been raising my partner's daughter since she was a baby. She's now 8. She lives with us full time and sees her mum often. I've done every sick day, every parents' evening, and I'm involved in all the big decisions in her life. She calls me her second mum, but I have no legal rights. Her dad hasn't been too well lately, and it's really made me think, if something happened to him or if we broke up, I'm scared I wouldn't be able to stay in her life or even make decisions for her. Can I apply for parental responsibility even though I'm not her biological parent? What are my rights and how do I begin the conversation with my partner or her mum?
Okay.
Oh, do you know what? That's a real feeling. Like that's exactly how I felt around when I met Rio and the children, because not to talk about myself, but that's the only way that I can kind of relate. Where their mum had passed away, there's a lot of like feeling around like death in the house. And I was so panicked that what if something happens to Rio? Where does that leave me? Are people going to try and take the kids off me? I don't really have any rights. So it's a scary place to be at.
Yeah. Yeah. Parental responsibility is, you know, it's a sense of responsibilities, duties, obligations towards these children that you love. And you want to be able to hold on to that if anything is to happen. So, and if the, you know, bio father in that instance was to pass, anything was to happen, the stepmom would be left in a really vulnerable spot and position. So this is something that collectively they're going to want to have to think about and decide what they want to do here.
Is it possible though? Can a stepmom or a step-parent get parental rights?
It is.
Do you need permission from both parents?
Okay, so we go into 2 avenues here, all right? So let's talk about should we talk about if we're married or unmarried first? Because
it's
different.
Let's do married.
Okay, so
Why is that?
I mean, I just want to learn for everybody else.
okay, go. So if we're married, there's 2 steps. First of all, we ask permission from bio mum and dad. We ask permission from bio mum and dad, and we can sign a document basically called a step-parent parental responsibility agreement. All parties involved are in agreement that the stepmother, in this case, would like to share in parental responsibility. It gets rubber stamped, signed, and, you know, Bob's your uncle's all done and we're happy. If the bio mum in this instance is not happy and doesn't agree to that situation, then you as the stepmother can make an application for a step parent parental responsibility order. Okay. So the basis of that is usually on how long have you been in the child's life for, the strength of the relationship, you know, essentially, is it in that child's best interest for the shared parental responsibility to move over? Well, not move over, be shared.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's an option that's
so a judge can say no.
Very much available. A judge can say no. Of course, the judge can say no, but they can absolutely say yes as well. It's all based on the merits of that individual case. In this instance, the ones that we're talking about, it's very, very strong. We've got 8 years of a stepmom being a primary day-to-day carer. Yeah. We've got, you know, a very close bond and relationship. We've got to the point that the child is calling the stepmum mum, yeah. Right? So there's elements in this that I don't know. Why is bio mum not so much in the picture? Are there mental health issues, addiction issues, safeguarding issues? Was this a personal choice? Was it because of work? There are so many other elements that I'd want to know and talk about. But there are options.
And what rights does parental responsibility give you? Does it give you the rights of like a parent?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, but I really need to be clear about this. So parental responsibility is duties, obligations, and responsibilities. Parents, you, me, we don't have rights over our children.
Yeah.
Our children hold rights. They are independent little beings in themselves. So the parental responsibility being shared with that other step parent involved is just us, just them also holding those responsibilities, duties and obligations.
Okay, here's a question for you then. Say, for example, talking about children's schooling.
Yeah.
And you disagree to the bio mum and you've now got parental responsibility. In that kind of situation, do you have a right to speak up if you've got
do you see what I mean? You've got a duty and you've got an obligation and you've got a responsibility to speak up if you feel like, you've got a differing view. Absolutely. Same as dad, same as bio mum. You're all level here.
Everyone's level.
You're all level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does anyone have a final say?
No, because if you don't agree on something like that, it's just the same as if, say, say mum and dad disagreed, they can't come to an agreement on where the child's going to go to school. Okay, an option is we try mediation. If mediation doesn't work, we make an application to court and it's adjudicated on.
Would a lot of bio mums want that? Like a stepmum having the same... I'm generalising here, sorry. So sorry for generalising.
No,
I mean where there's conflict.
Want it. Because stepmums, there's a lot of stepmums that feel some type of way about enforcing simple house rules. Imagine if, like, she strongly feels that a child should not be going on a holiday at a particular time or going to a particular school or moving to a particular area. I cannot imagine, like, mum and dad being cool with it and stepmum not being cool with it and stepmum saying, I'm not cool with it, so she's the one that throws the spanner in the works. I can't imagine a stepmom like stepping into that.
I think it really depends on the situation. So like on a personal level, I'm not looking for parental responsibility. I know my place. Like I know my place as stepmom. I'm cool. But I know other situations where it's like, no, it would work better personally if that step parent shared in the parental responsibility. Yeah, there might be messy moments, but that comes with sometimes being in that blended situation.
I suppose it's the same as any family,
right?
Isn't it? What about, a bit of advice for me, what about, or prior, if someone's in a situation where they're looking after stepchildren, a parent has died, and then the other parent gets poorly, if as the step parent that looks after the children full-time, you don't have that parental responsibility and the children are young, whose care would they automatically be put in if you don't have it?
So do they
go to biological family?
So if the bio parent is poorly, we're going to want that bio parent to sign the parental responsibility step parent agreement so that you two can share in PR. If it's a case of both of them have passed, things can get complicated. So it's not an automatic they go to biological family. The local authority will become involved essentially to check on everything. Social services will become involved. They will want as little change as possible. So they will want the children to stay where they are, but nobody has parental responsibility right now. Just because it's a biological...
Scary, isn't it?
Absolutely.
No grandparents, nothing, no one.
It happens a lot. I've seen it many times. So at that point, we need to support somebody, usually the person or people that the children are already living with, so stepmom, for example, to go to court and get an order.
Okay.
I always advise that you should write it in your will who you would want the children to reside with. Yeah. So your last will and testament saying, and that sort of can be used as evidence in court. Look, before XY passed, they did say that they wanted me to look after the children.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? When the kids are like under a certain age, I forget, like maybe 12 or something, where you go to like make a formal visiting arrangement order type thing. Does But then when they get past a certain age, let's just say it's 12, I can't remember, they can actually tell the judge whether they want to keep seeing their non-resident parent or not. Does it apply with this as well? Like, for example, say the child is like 12, 13, 14, and we're starting to talk about parental rights for whatever reason. Will the child be involved in the decision?
Possibly. So that comes under something called the welfare checklist.
Okay.
So part of the welfare checklist, so whatever application you make to court, whether it spends time with parental responsibility, where a child should go to school, wherever you're disagreeing with and you make an application to court, the welfare checklist has to be considered when making that final determination on whether the order should be granted or not. So part of that is a 7-part checklist. Part of that is the wishes and feelings of the children. And if they are of a particular age, an older age, then CAFCAS may say, look, we're going to have a conversation with them. They may, yeah.
What if they've been told to say no?
CAFCAS listen out for those
Do
sorts.
they?
They're meant to. They're meant to. I mean, obviously not every organisation is perfect and not, there's good, bad everywhere, but they're meant to. So they're meant to be trained for that.
Okay, one more question. So let's just say both biological parents are alive. One's a bit high conflict and they're like, sorry, I must die before I agree to let you have parental responsibility. What shall one do?
And off the back of that, if, for example, you said you can file it, you'll go to biomum first and they say no, you could then file it.
Yeah.
When you file it, does the biomum get an alert?
Yeah.
For example?
She must.
Yeah, she must.
And then, where do we go from there?
Okay, so you have to legally attempt mediation first. Yeah. So you do that, you go through that process and then you make your court application, girl.
And then you actually just have to fight for it.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Because it's like in this court application, that's just going to cause even more drama if the biomum doesn't want it.
Yeah, listen, like nobody wants drama. Nobody should want drama. Okay, nobody should want drama. Nobody wants to take this adversarial route. We want to avoid court in all instances. But if you are feeling that you sharing in parental responsibility is truly in the best interest of those children, then it's a fight worth. You've got nothing to lose, right?
I mean, except money.
Yeah, that's what? That was on the tip of my tongue.
Okay,
money.
No, but you can represent yourself.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Because yes, we did.
Yes, exactly. And if you need help, then I can hold your hand in some of those places.
Yeah.
Or there are
people there as well.
Absolutely.
I forget what they're called.
Like there's advisors. There's
with you.
Mackenzie friends.
Oh yes. Yeah.
So I now act as a Mackenzie friend in order to literally be able to support people who can't, put $5,000 on account like that. You can have that too, but even if you can't even have a Mackenzie friend, you can absolutely represent yourself. Is it intimidating? Is it daunting? Yes, of course it is, but you're fighting for a cause, right? You're fighting for something that you fight for your children. Is there anything greater than that?
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah.
And that's what you're here to do, really, to help people, isn't it?
Yeah.
To help people come to some kind of decision. Like your social media is so helpful and helps really think about scenarios that you might not be aware of sometimes as well.
Yeah, I just feel like, you can go through, it will just drop you on your feet when something happens and you've got no understanding of how you are meant to get through this legally. You will be dropped on your feet. And what if you can't afford £550 for one session where somebody clinically tells you X, Y, Z, and then you come out of the room and you're like, I can't even process what I've been told. So if I can just make a few videos or answer a few Q&As, I just think, oh my God, just do it.
Yeah, it's so helpful. That's what's good about social media.
Yeah, social media's got so many positives. Like we often talk about the negatives in social media, but it's got so many positives as well, like to connect with people.
Yeah.
Whereas what were women and families doing in our situation before social media?
Yeah.
They probably felt so isolated.
Yeah, it went wrong. Yeah. I wanted to ask you, and do you remember like maybe sometime last year I was talking about changing surnames, and it's like the non-existent parent needs to be informed. I kind
Sorry,
of
non-existent. What does that
yeah, because I was a single mum, like single for real single.
Oh, okay. So your situation.
My firstborn's biological father.
Sorry.
So I wanted to know now, in terms of like adoption, how would I need to go find him?
Yes.
Even though he's not on the birth certificate.
Oh.
They don't have the same name.
Oh, he's not on the birth certificate.
No, he's just out there living hopefully a nice life.
Okay, so right, what's the question?
Do I have to find him to tell him
that you want to change the name?
That my husband would want to adopt.
Okay, so
even though he's not been about.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so adoption is a little bit
complex.
Yeah, it's a little bit more complex. So it's helpful that he doesn't have parental responsibility, but he is the biological father. So the court will ask you, do you know who the biological father is? And we have to sort of give him a say or notice.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, do you know where he is?
I mean, not particularly. I can find it.
Okay. Yeah. So
never too far away.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
So if he said, like, I know she's 14 and like, well done, but also no. Yeah. Am I meant to be like, okay, cool. See you in another decade?
I mean, it would be for the court to decide. Yeah, it would be for the court to decide.
So could my daughter just say, no, I want my dad to adopt me?
Yeah, that's
because she's 14.
Yeah, yes.
And then would that override what?
I can't tell you 100% that's going to override.
Because it depends on the judge.
100%. I can't tell. I can never tell you 100%. But even because he's not completely absent, as in I don't know, has he moved to Timbuktu?
So I could say I don't know where he is. I don't know who the biological dad is. If you're going to say
you're outing yourself on this podcast, just so you know, I hope they don't use this as receipts.
But also the court can say, have we made concerted efforts to find this person? So, looking at for bank details, DWP orders, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, they have to.
That feels unfair.
They have to cross things off because it's such a final decision that's going to be made.
I've got a question. What's the difference between adoption and parental responsibility if the outcome is the same?
In this scenario that we're talking about, if the caller's written in about, if the stepmum is going to adopt the child, it is going to sever bio-mum's whole parental responsibility.
Yeah.
It's gone. But if we're just sharing in parental responsibility, that's what it is. It's just sharing. If I'm agreeing that you can have the parental responsibility, or if I'm getting a parental responsibility order, then I'm just sharing in it. I'm not severing anybody's.
So, yeah, that's what's confusing me. So the parental rescibility is the same with adoption.
Yes, because they are also sharing parental responsibility, but
that's more co-parenting.
But nothing's been. But I mean, yeah, on a human level, yes.
But adoption, there doesn't need to be permission. It's between the adoptive parent and the biological parent, not the other one that's absent.
Yeah, because that's severed.
You don't get a say anymore.
Yeah, but say for example, this isn't going to happen, but I have parental responsibility and Rhea does. Could I fight him for the children with that parental responsibility, even though he's the bio dad?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same level.
Yes.
It is the same level.
Yes. So, for example, she could go to court in relation to, if she says, I don't agree that they should go to that school, she could still take him to court because she shares parental responsibility.
The thing is, without you here, we actually don't know the answer to this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's hard, you don't know where to go for all this information.
I assume so much. And do you know what is really annoying? I think because our media is so littered with US content.
Yeah.
We be swinging from the things that we watch on Law and Order and all the rest of it. Yeah. Because I know there's one thing that you've addressed a couple of times, over the years, which I've held on to, but I think it's really good that we mention about oh, I'm going to go to court for full custody. What does that mean
Is
in
that
the
not a
UK?
thing?
In
That's
the
not
UK?
a thing. In England and Wales, that is not a thing.
Sorry.
So
Americanized.
full
So
custody.
sorry.
I get that question all the time. How do I get full custody?
Can you not?
Well, what do you think full custody is?
I don't want to embarrass myself.
No. There's no wrong
I
answer.
would say that is the main parent that has responsibility for the children 100% of the time.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I thought.
Okay, yeah.
So I thought full custody was when only one parent, the resident parent, has all the say-so. So it's like, oh, I'm going to take my children on holiday, and the dad's like, no, you're not. But I can override that. Whereas if the dad, the non-resident, says, I'm going to take children on holiday, I say, no, you're not. And that's it. It's final. I can call the police. And
So like
you're
primary
done for.
decision-making.
Yeah, primary decision-making for all major like events. I thought that's what full custody meant.
Mm-hmm. So in England and Wales, there's no such thing as full custody. We have, the closest thing that we have to it is something called a lives with order, which just solidifies where the children reside on a primary basis. And then they may spend time with the other parent. And what that spends time with looks like, I mean, it could be like every other weekend from this, but their primary residence is with this one over here. Parental responsibility is exactly the same. Nobody has a greater right over this, responsibility over this, duty over that. It's exactly the same. We still need to be aligned on the school, the religion, the food, the big decision-making issues. However, there is one tiny bit where there is a difference, and that is that the person that holds the lives with order can take the children out of the country on a holiday for up to 28 days at a time. Okay, so that's the only difference. And they don't have to ask permission from that other parent. Now, they should give notice because that is what is good practice, but they don't have to ask permission. So you'll have a lot of situations where the non-resident parent will say, you're not going on that holiday. I'm not letting you go on that holiday. How dare you go on that holiday? You've peed me off about this or that. So to take that weaponization away, okay, well, they reside with me on a primary basis. I'm going to get a lives with order so you can stop doing that. We can move a little bit more freely. But on everything else, we have to be aligned.
What if that infringes on the time that the non-resident parent has?
So if the non-resident parent has a spends time with order and the holiday infringes on that spends time with time, then you still have to ask permission, because what you're doing is basically breaking the terms of the order, right? So you need to say, hey, can I break the terms of the order in order to take them on this holiday? Yes or no? Hey, if I give you 4 months notice and say that you can make up for the time in this period, is that okay? No, you can't. Okay, geez, I'm gonna have to go back to court.
Wow.
Sorry, who has money for this? Who actually has money?
No,
for this
who has
now?
time for this? Because you can represent, yourself, but who has time for this?
Also, it's the emotional toll.
Oh yeah, of
going
course.
through all of this and like the fighting, the stress, being scared about your children, what you can and can't do with them. Because I think we all give birth to children, and that's not the first thing that you think, that you're going to be fighting over whether you can, what you can do with them.
No.
We just think it's going to be all rosy because
yeah, of course, nobody wants to be in this situation. Nobody wants to, and the courts, the family courts, really encourage you to do everything you can to avoid being there. You know, you have to go to you don't have to go to mediation unless there's been history of abuse, but otherwise you need to try mediation, get solicitors' letters, try and negotiate. Court really is a last.
final straw.
Yeah.
Let's get into this is a random one, but it's a big thing, like haircuts, because and hairstyles. This is like things that's not on, your list of religion, schooling, where you reside.
Yeah.
But haircuts
it's a big deal,
and piercings cause a lot of issues in between families.
Yeah.
What level is the parental responsibility? Like, say, for example, I took the child and dad doesn't want to get the haircut and I'm like, I want to get the haircut.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I give you another dilemma?
Yeah.
I can't remember if we've spoken about this before.
I think we have. I know what you're going to say.
Very uncomfortable. So basically, there was a mum and there was a dad and a stepmum, right, whose stepdaughter kept coming over with head lice. And she had long hair, like I think down to her back. And the stepmom always took it upon herself to like debug her. The girl would be screaming like she's in pain because she's got a lot of hair. And then they kept telling bio mum, like, listen, debug your house, red hair, like, let's sort it out kind of thing. And I think on the third, fourth occasion, the stepmom was like really fed up. She was like, you know, this is my house too, can't keep doing this. And baby girl she's upset. So she says to her husband, listen, I want to go and get her hair cut, like shorter than yours, like up to here, right? Yeah. So should it happen again, it will be easier for her and myself. And dad was like, all right, do you? Like, that's fine. So goes, gets her back length hair cut down to her shoulders. And then when biological mum sees her child, she called the police.
Call the police?
She said,
For what?
Like,
what's the crime?
You physically like altered my child without my permission. That's like a violation. So she actually called the police, and then there was like little drippings of like parental alienation in there as well. And that's how, and this is a true story. So that's how important hair is to some people.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It's, you know, again, yes, it is very clearly important in that scenario. Listen, I've heard it before as well. I've obviously had the messages and the questions come out in relation to haircuts and that, but that's not a criminal matter. That is not. Do you know what, as well? We're bordering into safeguarding with the head lice.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So that's making me feel uncomfortable. You've done everything you can. You've brought it to bio mum's attention. You've tried to negotiate on it. Bottom line is that there's no legal here. So bio dad, bio mum, they both have responsibilities, duties and obligations. If one is not pulling the plug on that, doing that properly, then, and bio dad is like, well, I'll do it then it's done.
But if mum stops contact now?
That's not a reason to stop contact. It is not a legitimate, proportionate reason to stop contact.
If someone sorry to frass about it in the way, my boy Cree's got like lovely curly hair. Mm-hmm. If someone and he's really great. If someone cut his hair,
gave him a buzz cut,
I swear to God, I don't want to sound deranged. I wouldn't want them to see them. Yeah. I would not want them to see them.
Yeah, but okay, I'd be mad. Yeah, if on a human level, my daughter has beautiful curls. My son has beautiful curls. Also, what are you doing? Like, I get
disrespect.
I get it. It is a disrespect. In this situation, I feel like it's a necessity.
Yeah.
But if it's a situation, right? But if we're in a situation whereby it's like, you asked me and I said no. What are you doing? I am mad about that. Mad about that. But that is a me problem.
Oh, come on, talk it.
That is a me problem. That is not my child's problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
The child's
no. Cree loves it.
Yeah.
He loves his he loves the buzz cut.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna have to go as well.
Yeah, what if he's like, Mum, I want this all the time now?
No, honestly, I'd be devastated. The thought of it now makes me sad.
Yeah, listen, and I think it would.
It's not really a me problem. It's a them problem. They shouldn't have gone and done that.
No. It is a them problem, but it's a you problem for feeling
your
the
reaction,
anger. Yeah, and you're allowed to. You're human. It's a proportionate feeling to have, but to then transition that into your child not seeing their bio dad as a result of what's happened, you're letting your ego and your pride get in the way of what your child's right is. That's not a safeguarding issue.
Okay. I might get myself in a bit of trouble here.
No, not at all.
I always think
people are going to get that. Like people will 100% be like, yeah, I get that, Kate. I'm coming from a very, very very legal, child-focused, but also personally, like I would be angry and I would call up and be like, what are you doing? But I'm not going to stop contact because of it.
Yeah. I think we've covered so much here. So thank you so much. I just want to go back to the question, the dilemma, because at the end she says, how do I begin the conversation with my partner or her mum? That's going to be difficult, isn't it? You know, like broaching that conversation.
I think you got to lead with love and that you are there to support. You are there as, you've been there for however many years, but you just want to, nothing's going to change. You were just legalizing what already exists.
Yeah.
And that I think it's really important that bio mum understands that nothing's being taken away from her. We're just sharing.
That's good. I like that because
I don't want her to feel violated, disrespected, bamboozled. This isn't about taking anything away from her. This is about sharing something with her. Again, because I don't know the finer details of the case, but just ensuring that she doesn't feel overwhelmed and railroaded into having to agree that, oh right, my legal responsibility is going to be taken away. It doesn't have to look like that.
And on that note, I think we've covered it all. Okay, ladies. Right, we've got another dilemma. Hi, ladies. I really need some advice. I posted a photo on Instagram of me, my partner, and his 2 kids during a family day out. Nothing staged, just a lovely, happy moment. His ex saw it and completely flipped. She's now blocked all contact and says we crossed the line by posting her kids and making it like we're the perfect family. The truth is, we don't have a formal court order, just a verbal agreement that's worked out until now. But since that post, she won't answer his calls, won't respond to messages, and she's saying she won't send the kids over again until we respect her boundaries. Can she legally do this? And how do we protect his relationship with the kids if she keeps using access as punishment? Oh, social media. It's so hard, isn't it? Because we talk about this a lot, but just straight to the social clip. One picture doesn't explain or define what is actually going on, does it? We often look back at photos. No, but it is about that because it looks perfect on Instagram and that's what she's worried about. But it's probably not perfect.
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's her ego and it's her pride that's got in the way here.
Yeah.
She's been hurt. And on a human level, again, we get it. I understand that she might see that picture and be like, but that's her problem. That is her issue. And to then transcend it over onto her children and say, now it's your problem because I'm not sending you to your dad's next week. That's not right. That's not proportionate reason to stop contact. That is weaponizing your children in order to cause the other parent pain and to punish them for something that the mum doesn't agree with or doesn't like. I understand that it's a boundary for her. I don't want you posting pictures, but it's not a end all. It doesn't work like that. So legally, there are no grounds for that contact to have stopped. So not in agreement with that.
So now we have to go to court.
So
or no mediation.
Because now we should be having some sort of conversations. Hey, okay,
we're blocked.
She's been blocked. She's been blocked.
So
do you know what? If we've been blocked and maybe we could try and get a granddad or an auntie or a friend to try and facilitate a conversation. That's not working. You could send a solicitor's letter, a non-threatening solicitor's letter, but just to remind you of what legal obligations are present here and that it is not right. It's not a proportionate reason to stop contact. If that doesn't work, mediation. If that doesn't work, then yes, absolutely a court order so that your time cannot be disturbed that way. However, let's be truthful. Even with court orders, contact is stopped for silly billy reasons. But at least there's now a trail, right? And so you're not just accountable to the other parent, but you're now accountable to a judge, right? So those orders for contact can be enforced. And if I have to keep going back and
keep
back
applying
and
to go back
to enforce it, that's a problem in itself. Punishment can be...
What's punishment? Let's go, because I've heard I've seen on somebody's document that, you know, a certain somebody could be fined.
Yes.
Like even do jail time, like prison time.
Yes. Even, I mean, these are extreme circumstances, extreme cases, removal of the children.
Are all of them extreme, or is that one extreme?
Like,
so like being fined, doing some prison
like,
time.
To be honest, like,
So how many times is enough before the judge says, okay, you're mocking it?
Right. Well, it depends on who you're going in front of, but also it depends if there are other factors involved. So like, you know, we were talking about parental alienation. What other areas are happening whereby you may find yourself that social services are getting involved because we need to do a Section 37 assessment.
Let's just say it's not that deep.
Okay.
Let's just say it is ego at play. Yeah. Let's just say it's always been this way. Mm-hmm. A step parent or stepmom, whatever, comes along and you've rocked my whole setup. Mm-hmm. And now the way that I had this man complying, he no longer complies. Yeah. He seems to have an ally. He seems to have a teammate, and he seems to be a bit stronger. And he also seems to be displaying a lifestyle that I
hear you.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, like this man has changed.
I hear you.
In a good way, right? So now I have to use my child to make you fall back in line. Yeah. So that's let's just say that's all that it is.
Yeah. Then I'm going to tell you that you really need to get defined contact order or a defined time spent. You should even consider getting a lives with order.
What if you already have it? Not a lives with, but you have the contact and it's defined.
Yeah. What is a defined contact order?
So it's called a spends time with order.
Okay.
But we interchange it with contact order all the time. But it basically literally sets out time spent with the other parent.
And the frequency
the frequency of what that looks like during the school holidays and during term times, etc. If you've got a situation whereby you feel like you're really being marginalized as a parent and your children are being weaponized, that is a good instance to turn around and say, actually, I also want a lives with order, or a joint lives with order, because whilst it doesn't, it's just solidifying to that other parent. The court is also rubber stamping that as well, and with agreement that these two homes are just as important as each other.
What if the child says no because they've got loyalty?
Okay, so I'm going to be asking you about the child's age, experiences, potential parental alienation. Then those, and if we're talking about potential parental alienation, then we're going to be talking about potential child abuse. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then that does go into social services involvement. That does go into Section 37 assessments, right? So that is serious. That is complex. So if I've got constant missed contacts for the most unreasonable of reasons, anything other than like serious safeguarding or safeguarding concerns, and this is being built up, then the court have no other option but to assess this matter properly.
Is it worth doing if the child is big?
I think if the child is big, I have conversations with people a lot about this. It's really difficult because it then turns into, is it in the child's best interest for there to be a removal when they're going to vote with their feet? And then what options?
So then what does the non-resident parent do there? And so the reason why I'm asking this question is because like oftentimes like I see dads being timed out, not necessarily because of money or lack of will or lack of pain, but there's like so many assumptions. And I think I might have even been one of those women that, especially coming from a single parent home and feeling like my dad didn't do enough to see me and my brother, I might have been one of those women that have said, nah, the dad needs to like deplete his life to fight for his child. But then to like be in a blended family and then kind of be in the work that I do and see dads literally being timed out because children are listen, when a child has a lifestyle and, you know, has loyalty to their resident parent, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it seems like it doesn't matter how much they love their non-resident parent, and they do love their non-resident parent. They cannot go to court and go against their mum and say, no, I know my mum hates my dad, but I love my dad. And then go home with their mum and not feel the repercussion of it. Like, there are some children that just want peace. And it's like, Dad, I'll see you in the next 10 years because I'm sorry. I need my mum to be cool.
And it's a lot for the kids, to put the kids in that position.
Oh, it's too much. It's too much. And look, in some instances, the law, it can't help. Yeah. In some instances, the law can't help.
I'm glad you said that, because I just feel like some people need to understand that sometimes
I do honestly think
dad's hands are tied.
As they get older, especially like, 12, 13, 14, and if they're very much making their decision and they're voting with their feet.
What can you do?
What can you do?
Because you would literally be interrupting a child's life, although I feel like dads are so necessary and important in children's lives, or dads that want to be involved in their children's life. But I think it's a really good thing to be able to say that sometimes you time out of what the law can help you with. And when there are some dads that do say, listen, a lot of them are chatting rubbish, but some of them, when they say, I'm going to have to wait for my child to come find me, or I'm going to have to wait for that child to be 18 so I can go and find them and try again. Even though there's been like 5 years, 6 years, even maybe more, where they haven't seen their dad anymore. I feel like that is a reality that we need to we need to understand that's real. Like, it happens.
Listen, I've spoken to many dads in that situation, and they're like, I'm going to keep my orders, I'm going to keep my folder, my file,
letters.
My letters, my emails, my texts, where I've tried. So when they come to me, I can show them that I really did everything that I could. But, these kids are going through a process themselves, and I have to say to a lot of parents, you need to give them the space to go through those emotions. But I promise you, so much time will have gone and be wasted, and that pain. But when your kids grow, they really will know, because
remember we said they will clock you.
They will look back, they will reflect, they will learn about mum, they will learn about dad, what was right. I mean, I don't know about you, but I did it. I grew up. I reflected, and in the time I was like, I'm on this one side, and I look back and I go, oh my God, that one was going through. And it's only as I've become an adult or as a parent myself, and I've understood the complexities of that. So, totally.
Let's actually go back to socials for a minute. Socials and photos, and sharing photos, and how that affects people. Do you know what I mean?
Mental stability.
Yes. How about this then? If the Instagram is open and it's not private, is there something legal around that? Can you post without permission from a parent?
So legally, yes, you can post your child or somebody else's child without express permission from the other parent. Do I think that you should do that on a moral, ethical level? Maybe not. I think that you should, personally, I think you should ask permission from at least one of the parents. So legally, you can post the picture. And if we're talking about this particular instance, she can post the picture. However, if we're talking about a situation whereby you've got a really large following, it's an open profile, really large following, you're posting the pictures of the children, and one of the parents feels really uncomfortable about that, they could potentially make an application to court. It's called a specific issues application, to deal with the specific issue of their child being photographed and put on social media. So
your average family, not a big following, just want to share a nice family photo on Instagram. And it's private.
It's not illegal. It's not illegal.
I understand how that would hurt the buyer mum, because you are looking on and, you know, your children are there.
I just don't understand.
But also, like, the
Really?
children
I'm sorry, I don't. I honestly don't. Like, as a biological
Do you not feel like that would be
mum,
like a bit of a pang? Like if I saw my kids out like in Chessington World's Adventures with their dad and his new missus, I'd be like,
you see, we were literally talking about this in I don't even know what episode it was now. But for me, I just feel like if you're experiencing fun things, that's fine. How am I even seeing it? And however I'm seeing it, blockata. Like,
yeah,
why?
I'm obviously looking for
I'm
it.
not looking. But this
You're
is
searching.
I'm not gonna look for it.
Really?
I don't want to know.
Oh my God.
I don't want to know what if my child comes
self-sabotage.
home. Yeah, but that's the thing. I know like my feelings, and I know what I can control, and I am not going to willingly drive myself nutty.
Oh.
Why would I do that to me? I like me.
I do that all the time.
Nope, sorry, no.
I think I would search.
I would search.
I would try not to search, but naturally, if I'm not getting information, I'd like to know what my children are up to. So I probably might search.
No.
I mean,
but it's my problem.
Yeah, and
like,
I don't like problems.
I wouldn't impose that on my kids. I wouldn't impose, like, it's my problem. I'd call my friend and be like, "Rah!" But then that's it. That's where it ends.
Yeah, not even that for me. Right, so I wanted to talk about something that I feel like a lot of people think and say online, but you're going to tell me if it's true.
Okay.
That the court system is against fathers.
Ooh.
And obviously I have lived experience where, although I wasn't raised with my father who I saw fight, I live with a man who I've seen fight. And I've heard many stories from men who feel like they were entering into a losing battle. Even men that refuse to even try and go to court because they just feel like it's going to make things worse or they're going to lose. I want you to be able to, like, however best you can, answer, are mums favoured? Do they have more power in the UK than dads? Just be real. Give me some personal perspective with the experiences of real people that you've been involved with, and then give me the legal perspective. Because I almost know what you're going to say, but like...
Don't say it.
I'll tell you real, yeah. From personal and professional, no.
Really?
No. You think... I understand why you think that. I truly do understand why
do dads feel this way?
I guess because primarily mothers are the primary parent, right? They're the ones that birth the children, they go on maternity leave, they take on a primary role, especially during that first year. And therefore, if there's a breakdown, the status quo is what usually continues. And that status quo has been that it is mum, right? But I think, don't, absolutely quote me on this, but I think it's something like 78% of applications where fathers make for 50-50 go through. They get it.
Really?
Yes. Because if you can show there's no safeguarding issues, there's no safeguarding concerns, that you are available, your work is available to have the children 50% of the time, that you have support, that you're there, that you're doing it, that you're going to the the bar is, I'm sorry, in my personal opinion, quite low. But if you're going to the school appointments, if you are going to the doctors, you're doing all the parental responsibility duties, obligations, then yeah, absolutely. Why it is considered to be in the best interest of the children to have that equal relationship with their other parent. Okay, it doesn't always equate to equal amount of time, but if you can show that it's a positive for that child's life and that you have the availability to be able to be doing it, then yeah, absolutely. So, and also, Priscilla, the truth is that you are seeing so many women who have been a victim of abusive partners. I mean, terrible, terrible abuse, having to share in that 50% because they'll set that aside. They will completely and utterly set that aside and just say, okay, he's available to do it. He's ticking those boxes of necessity. He can have the 50%. And then they are enforced to share that co-parenting space with their abusers.
Wow. It's a lot, that.
It's that.
Really?
Yes, 100%. My inbox is full of women struggling with just that. This isn't about just weaponizing contact and, I don't like what he did here, or I don't like what he did there, and so I'm not sending them at the weekend. It's not about that. It's not about that.
It's not always
It's
about
not,
that.
of course, it's not always about that. And I help dads as well. If I get that sort of message in my inbox saying, listen, I've had many, like, she doesn't like me, I've moved on, or, I formed a new relationship that's been difficult for her. Everything that we've spoken about in relation to where your ego has been hit and broken rather than anything else. Yeah, of course, you should make your application. That's what's in the best interest of the child. You should protect that. But there are many, many, many women who are having to contend with abusive partners, post-separation abuse, financial abuse, and they are having to be forced into co-parenting by the family court. They're not being protected.
Can I just ask about financials as well? What is it with this country and allowing non-resident parents to not pay
Oh my God.
child maintenance? Why are people not in prison? Sorry.
Is that a thing then? Sorry.
Yeah.
In America, you're going to get banged up.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what? I think personally, there has to be a whole reform of the child maintenance service, and that could be probably a whole podcast episode on itself. But it's because the family courts don't tend to get involved with the finances. It's just child maintenance off on its own.
Who regulates it then?
The government. It's not the family court. It's not the family court.
So you can't go to the family court and complain about this?
Not unless you are earning over a certain threshold of money. So if you're earning over something like, I don't know, 153,000, something like that, then you can go in. You know, when you see
who's earning that? Who's the average person's not earning that?
The footballers. You see when you see the footballers are in court over.
Oh yeah.
What about the average person?
No hope in hell.
No, you've got no hope in hell. And that's when usually you hear like, I get paid £3.50 a week.
Yeah.
And he's rolling around in a Porsche and a Bentley. Yeah, because he's hiding his assets, he's hiding his money, he's filtering it here and there through dividends.
I just don't understand how, as a parent,
oh my God,
you can be driving around in a Porsche.
It's the biggest embarrassment.
And your child, is struggling to eat.
It's the biggest embarrassment. And it's all because I don't know what she's spending that money on. She's going to get her nails done. She da-da-da-da.
It is hard. But I just think that's just deadbeat. If you can't.
Oh, completely.
If you are rolling around, giving it the big un, watches on, all jewellery, all new outfits, and you can't give a bit of money to look after your kids.
It is happening. Red flag galore. It is happening everywhere.
Do you think it's feasible for a man to be working 2-3 jobs, having had say he goes on to remarry, he's got children that he lives with, then he's got children outside of his house, but he has one job, and so the child that lives outside of the house naturally would get less money.
Yeah.
Do you think it's feasible for, a biological mum or family or whatever to say, go get another job?
I think that's a lot. Sorry, I'm not the legal advice here. I'm just thinking, isn't that a lot? Because he actually also needs to spend time with his children.
Yeah.
And we don't want to running him into the ground so he can't be a good dad and continue the support that he's doing.
No one's saying that, legally he doesn't have to go and do that, and morally, that. I mean, that's
what
very.
Do you think?
That's very independent.
What does Nieki think?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Because you've got
commitments, right?
Yeah.
You have commitments, and it's not to say that he can't go out and be with his other family, and as long as he is contributing over here.
But what if it's £3.50 a week?
I mean,
It's not. What's that going to get?
it makes me
So
feel.
should he get a second job?
It makes me uncomfortable if then he's going on holiday and doing great family things over here. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, like if he's struggling,
Yeah.
and he's not living a lavish life,
Yeah.
and he's putting the time in and he's giving what he can,
Yeah.
and it's not a lot, I think I can deal with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If he is given the bare minimum and, like you say, going on holiday all the time and, you know, living this life.
The other children are having these experiences that the other one
It's
can't
not-
even
yeah,
reach.
yeah.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not fair. It doesn't sit right with me. And
Could that ever be a reason to get a lives with order? As in to say, like, I physically can't give you the money, but if my child was to live with me and my new family and the step parent, they would be automatically in the fold of these experiences.
I mean, he could make that application and
Is
say,
it a sensible one?
look, I can look at what I can offer, etc., etc. But
Not by money, but by lifestyle.
by lifestyle. I mean, he can make that application, but I don't know if that's what's in the best interest of the child in relation to what's going on in that other house. In that other house, how long has that child been with their mother for? Like, how old is the child?
Mhm.
Do they have other siblings? You know, do they have certain vulnerabilities that the mother has time in order to give to that child? There's so many things to ask and to consider.
I just feel like it's quite black and white legally sometimes, and families aren't black and white,
100%.
and there's so much in the middle that then is confusing.
Yeah. Listen, 100%. The legals can give you structures, but on a human central level, it's something else. And again, one of the reasons why I made what I've done on my social media, say like, okay, this is how you're feeling on a human. I validate that. That's real. Here are the parameters of the legals that you can go down. But yeah, it's hard.
It's complicated.
It's complicated. It is very complex.
Nick, thank you so much for all of your legal advice. We're so grateful, and I feel like it's going to help so many people. Just a quick one. Is there anywhere else apart from Legally Nik on Instagram and TikTok that people can go to for a little bit more advice?
Yeah.
I've got a website as well. I do consultations, one-to-ones. You can find me on my social media. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. I've loved it.
We've loved it too. We've learned a lot, I feel like.
Yes, we have.
So thank you so much for listening, and thank you to our amazing guest co-host this week, Legally Nik. We'll be back here next week. If you're watching, please remember to subscribe on YouTube and also send in your questions via the Blended Instagram so we can get into them. We'll be here at the same time next week. Lots of love. Mwah.